Here's something that'll mess with your head. Retiring at 55 instead of 65 nearly doubles your chance of dying in the next 10 years. Yeah, you heard that right. Meet Richard, 59 years old, electrical engineer, 28 years at the same firm. He hit his target, $1.2 million saved, house paid off, pension locked in. Did everything the financial gurus told him to do. 6 months after his retirement party, he's sitting in his living room at 2 p.m. on a Tuesday. Can't remember if he showered that morning, watching his 4th hour of cable news. His wife asks him what he did today. He has no answer. 18 months later, his doctor notices something during a routine checkup. Early cognitive decline. At 61 years old, Richard's body didn't break down because he got old. It broke down because he stopped. Look, I'm not here to scare you, but the research on this is genuinely disturbing. Shell Oil tracked thousands of their employees after retirement. People who retired at 55, 89% more likely to die within 10 years compared to those who worked till 65. That's not a typo. Nearly double the death rate. And before you say, well, sick people retire early, they controlled for that. Healthy people who retired early still died faster. Another study found that for every single year you retire early, your death risk goes up by 2%. Retirement increases your chance of clinical depression by 40%. Physical illness? Up 60%. But here's the part that really gets me. Your brain starts deteriorating faster after you retire. Memory, processing speed, problem solving. All of it accelerates downward the moment you stop working. So what's happening here? Why does the thing we spend our entire lives working towards seem to be killing us? Here's the thing nobody in the financial industry wants to admit. Retirement is a 70-year-old social experiment, and your brain has no idea what to do with it. For literally hundreds of thousands of years, humans worked until they couldn't anymore. Then they died. That was it. This idea of spending 20 or 30 years in leisure after your career, it's newer than sliced bread, and your brain is not wired for it. Think about it. Your brain evolved expecting challenge, purpose, being needed by your community. When you suddenly remove all of that, something fundamental breaks. It's like taking a sled dog and locking it in a mansion. Yeah, it's comfortable. Yeah, it's safe. But that dog is going to lose its mind because it was built to run. So let's talk about what work actually does for you beyond the paycheck, because most people never realize what they had until it's gone. First, structure. Work tells you when to wake up, what to do, how to organize your time. Without it, people drift. Irregular sleep. Endless Netflix. Days that bleed into each other with nothing to anchor them. Second, identity. When someone asks, what do you do? And you've got nothing, there's this weird void that opens up. You're no longer the project manager or the teacher. You're just, what exactly? Third, social connection. For most adults, work is where your friends are. Your work buddies, your lunch crew, the people you complain to. Retire, and that disappears overnight. Studies show social isolation increases your death risk by 26%. That's the same as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Fourth, purpose. Even jobs you don't love make you feel useful. You're solving problems, helping people, creating value. That sense of matching? It's not optional for humans. Viktor Frankl survived Nazi concentration camps and said the primary human drive isn't happiness, it's meaning. Take that away, and we crumble. Fifth, challenge. Your brain needs problems to stay healthy. Work throws challenges at you constantly. Retire without replacing those challenges, and your brain starts to atrophy like an unused muscle. Now, before you panic and think I'm telling you to work till you die, I'm not. Here's the distinction that changes everything. There's a massive difference between retirement and financial independence. Retirement means stopping. It's about reaching a number and then doing nothing. The goal is leisure. Financial independence means having options. It's about reaching a point where you don't need to work for money, so you can work on whatever actually matters to you. See the difference? In both cases, you're not working for money. But in the second case, you're still working on things you chose, things you care about, things that give you those 5 critical functions we just talked about. The people who thrive after leaving their careers, they didn't retire. They just stopped doing work they hated and started doing work they loved. The Japanese have this concept called ikigai, your reason for getting up in the morning. In Okinawa, one of the longest-lived populations on Earth, they don't even have a word for retirement. People farm at 90. They teach at 100. They never stop contributing. So here's what you need to do, starting today. Stop planning for retirement. Start planning for financial independence plus purpose. Build an identity outside your job title. Right now, develop expertise in something unrelated to your career. Become known for something other than your job. Cultivate friendships outside of work. Join groups. Maintain connections. Build the social infrastructure that'll still be there when your office isn't. Challenge your brain with things unrelated to work. Learn an instrument, a language, a craft. Keep encountering novel problems. And most importantly, figure out what you'd do if money didn't matter. What problems would you solve? What would you create? What would you wake up for? Because if you can't answer that, you're planning to walk away from your current purpose with no idea what replaces it. The goal isn't to reach a point where you don't have to do anything. The goal is to reach a point where you only do what you want. Richard didn't die because he ran out of money. He started dying because he ran out of reasons. Don't let your finish line become your death spiral. Drop a comment if this changed how you're thinking about your future, and hit subscribe because we're just getting started.